Santa Fe, New Mexico, known for art and the artists who create it. Opera, galleries, a growing film industry, and musical talent are facts of life in the city different. It embraces a rich history of Spanish colonial, Native American, and cowboy culture. How can such a small city have such robust art and such rampant crime? Personally, I've been robbed more in Santa Fe than anywhere I've ever lived. This is my experience in paradise. I found myself here after the fourth time I was robbed, anxiously waiting for the cost to fix my truck.
I am a muffler man. I've been a muffler man since 1965. Got into the business well before unleaded gas and catalytic converters.
The car was parked outside of Backroad Pizza in an apartment parking lot, and I had left it there for a week where my friend parks every day, parks her car, and I was out of town in California, and when I got back I got in the car and I started it, and it just made crazy sounds that I never heard before, and I never heard about catalytic converters getting stolen, but I couldn't believe it made this, like, you know, jet engine sound and clunk, 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 clunk. So I crawled under the hood and saw that where there used to be a piece, there wasn't.
It's Luis Alvarez, and basically what happened to me between Christmas time, I woke up in the morning and I went to go start my car, and when I started it, all of a sudden it was really loud and I don't know what was going on, so I got off my car, shut it off. I looked under the vehicle and I saw that my catalytic converter was gone. At that time, I don't know what was going on, so I came to work, I left the car there. When I came back, I noticed some other guys were telling me, oh yeah, these people got their catalytic converter stolen also.
Is that someone on your street?
Yeah, actually, somebody right there at the apartment complex where I live came by here that same morning because he wanted to know what's wrong with his truck. We saw his catalytic converter was gone. Later on that week, we got 3 reports from the same apartment complex. They were all hit that same night, including mine.
Well, the price of these precious metals has gone up. Platinum, rhodium, and vanadium are the 3 principal metals that are used in catalytic converters. The demand for that metal has gone up, the price has gone up, and the value of recycling these catalytic converters has increased. So that has created a market wherein these thieves go down, they purchase a cordless sawzall, and they'll slide underneath your Toyota because it's high, easy to get under. The catalytic converter is there and easily accessible, so they can get under there, saw it off, and get out and go away, and be anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes is all it takes. And for that, they can haul these things down to Juarez or wherever they're selling them and get between $40 and $50 a piece for these.
Didn't try to get it fixed. I heard that it was expensive, and I knew that my car has a lot of miles on it, and it can't really drive the highway, so I decided that I couldn't afford it at the time, and my insurance didn't cover it, so I was gonna leave it the way it was until I got a new car.
They're not being stolen from Albuquerque. The police say they're not. They're hitting Santa Fe and the surrounding area. And they're going someplace other than Santa Fe. The local purchaser here, Capital Scrap, Brian, says he's not buying them. Mark, the friend I sell to, buys his, or he buys them from Brian. He says, he substantiates that. He says Brian's not getting them. So his guess is they're going south because Mark covers everything in New Mexico and Texas. And he's not getting these stolen cats. So they're going either west or south.
My friend helped me do this sunset pattern here on the hood that kind of faded off. It used to have a lot of hot pink in it, and we had some other plans for it to finish it that never really happened, so I let my dear friend Isabel, who's 7 years old, paint some beautiful pictures on this side here, and I painted an octopus on that side, and I was going to do some deep sea themes, some outer space themes, some unicorns, but none of that ever happened. The car was stolen for about 5 days in maybe February of last year. What happened was it had died, so I had jumped it, and I drove to work where I worked at Tiny's restaurant, and I had to leave it running because it was really sensitive, and so I left it running in the parking lot for about 10 minutes, and I was checking it every 2 minutes, parked right outside of the restaurant, and I was checking and checking and checking, and then on the last check I went outside and somebody had driven off in it, which must have been very hard to resist because it was running with the doors completely open and unlocked.
Yeah.
Also, because when I had my vehicle stolen, even though the officer was very polite, when I got it picked up, they didn't seem to be investigating anything at all. I mean, my friend actually saw the vehicle when my car was stolen. She saw it, spotted it outside of Guadalupe Church, just sitting there, running, and called the cops. And so I ran down from my house to meet them, and there was an officer just sitting in the car there, and they were like, "Whoop, we found another stolen car around back." And they were sitting in the car, and they said, "Is this your car? And show me your license." And I showed them my license, and they were like, "Well, you could go." And I said, "Do you want to know what was taken out of the car? Do you want to know what was in it that wasn't in it before?" And they were like, okay. And so they just didn't seem very interested in the investigation part. So I just didn't feel like they would probably do that with the catalytic converter either.
Don't think that the cops are all that interested in following up on those questions. It doesn't seem like they have a lot of enthusiasm in chasing this down.
I spoke with an officer in the police department regarding an interview. There was no response to my request. As a concerned citizen, I wanted to know what to do to improve safety in Santa Fe. We're working with the 8th Police Chief within the last 20 years. Maybe just keeping the oars in the water is the best we can hope for at this time. Still, I was anxious to present their side of my story.
Yeah, I work here. I'm a technician here for Toyota. So luckily for me, I mean, I can do it myself, you know. I just welded a pipe to connect the 2 exhaust pieces that were disconnected. And that right there quiet the engine down right there. And that's pretty much the best way to go at that point.
What did you think about the police and the way they responded? Do you think it was adequate? Or?
No, I mean, I wish they could have done something. I mean, but there was so many people hit. I mean, I don't know if they were just gonna, you know, if the government or somebody was gonna pay. You know, I wish the apartments would have had some sort of insurance, you know, to cover that. My insurance would have covered it, but I mean, you had to pay $500 deductible too, you know. So
Yeah.
it's like it was gonna be expensive no matter what.
I do envy the simple lives of pets. Regardless of what they may think, they mostly appear playful to me. I sense they're advanced beings because dogs are above the fray of their human masters. They settle their differences by smell, play, and licking each other as if nothing else matters. I, on the other hand, am stuck in the cerebral mind of human beings who calculate, anticipate, manipulate, sometimes deceive, take from others, or worse. But then, I don't have to eat dog food every day either. About 6 months after this wave of thefts hit Santa Fe, a suspect was caught in the act of removing a catalytic converter from a Toyota truck. 2 other suspects fled on foot. I'm satisfied that someone was apprehended and put behind bars, but I also realize behind the drama of every chase is the untold story of all those who suffered from the inflicted loss. As for the police, they remain a mystery to me. I await a return phone call, and I may just contact them again.